and I'm going to start it now. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening.
Oh, Chris has got a dark hat like the. Oh, what was that fellow in the X-Files? The smoking man. He used to have a hat like that, didn't he?
Oh, right.
Yeah, the mysterious bloke who turned up at various times during the series. Yeah. So, well, yeah, from what I can see, Dominic has come as the mad surgeon. You should have a bit of blood on you on the front, you know, where things are spurted a bit, you know. But apart from that, well done, Derek and Janet, with your bit of bunting there. Very good.
You made an effort.
Good, good. Right, okay. Well, I decided that I would have to dip into some of Bob's stuff for tonight because he was a great fan of the dark, as you know, and he had a whole range of masks and accoutrements that he used to bring out at times like this. He used to scare the living daylights of any kids that came to his front door. You know, he was known to chase them up the street and really put the fear of God into them. So
I've done that as well.
and he did write a few songs on a suitable topic, neither of which I've ever done before. So they're both these two are both first time efforts, and I apologise if I have to stop at any point and start again. But there you go. This one, this is one I remember him doing from years back, well back, days at the Ring of Bells, a long time ago, and it's a little thing called the Transylvania Boogie. Transylvania, here I come, right back where I started from, where wolves prowl and dogs howl up to the moon. Each morning at dawning, vampires zoom back to their tombs, and that's why I can hardly wait to be where goons and zombies congregate. So open up those cemetery gates, Transylvania, here I come. There's a guy who drives a hearse, he suffers from the werewolf's curse. If there's a full moon, you'd better beware. It's strange, yes, he changes, he gets hairy, gee, it's scary. Transformation never fails, just like a wolf, he prowls and howls and wails. But he looks cute when he's wagging his tail. Transylvania, here I come. There's a restaurant and bar, the owner's name is Dracula. From dusk till dawning, the joint really shakes. But here's a warning, for goodness sake, don't order steaks. The doctor, the decoys blush, it's really swank. He takes dollars and marks and even francs, 'cause he's got a large deposit at the National Blood Bank. Transylvania, here I come. I'm going to see a friend of mine. His name is Dr. Frankenstein. He made the very first bionic man. His name is quite famous for fancy organ transplants. He's the guy you have to see if you need spare part surgery. His favourite client is Christopher Lee. Transylvania, here I come. Transylvania, here I come. Right back where I started from, where wolves prowl and dogs howl up at the moon. Each morning at dawning, vampires zoom back to their tombs, and that's why I can hardly wait to be where ghouls and zombies congregate. So open up those cemetery gates, Transylvania, here I come. There you go. Almost got through that.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
There you go. That was one of them from way back.
Mm.
Welcome, Marion.
Hello.
Right, so we've got quite a few now then. Right, so I think first in was very early on was Peter. Have you got something for us, Peter? Have you dozed off?
No.
No,
No. You just got to listen.
I've not had any time to, give to singing.
Right.
This week I've been recovering from my collapse last week.
All right.
Collapsed in Heaton Park,
Oh dear.
and
Yeah.
and well, I probably woken up by a group of about 8 people that came and comforted me and found me something to lie on. And eventually, when I came round a bit, I talked to them. They asked me where I lived, and I told them, and they said they'd give me a lift home. They had a couple of cars with them,
Right.
and they gave me a lift home in
Right.
one of the cars. But I've been all week trying to get over this. I had bruising right up my right arm and shoulder and what have you. And so I've been passing out most of the week.
Right. Have you had a doctor around?
No. But I came round okay, and I've just slept most of the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just up to nothing, I'm afraid. Fit for nothing, should I
You
say.
should get yourself seen to, Peter. Get someone to come round and have a look at you.
Yeah.
Check you out. You don't know what it could be.
Well, we talked about this, but
You're a naughty boy.
Needs a glass of one brewed ale has come from Billy Booth. Ale is physic.
it was weird passing out. As I was walking in the park, I suddenly felt as though I was going downhill,
All right.
and I couldn't stop going. My head, my body going forward,
Yeah.
and eventually I collapsed at the side of the road. And well, then this group met me and looked after me. So
Well, you're lucky. You're lucky.
I was very lucky.
He was
There were
lucky.
about 8 of them,
Yeah, he was lucky.
and they looked after me, and like I say, brought me home in
Yeah.
one of the cars.
Mm.
I think you should phone the non-emergency service and get yourself checked out at least.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're still having an after effects from it, certainly. Anyway, you sit back and relax, and hopefully we'll try and entertain you. All right.
You entertained us today. Was it today?
Yeah, we saw you on television today.
Oh yeah, all 10 seconds of it.
And, you were very good.
Yeah.
It was very wet, very
I think-
cold.
Take up presenting. You're better than the ones they've got.
Thank you very much. Right, Dominic, I think that brings us to you then in that case.
Yeah. So,
Right. Oh gosh. Right. Not prepared. One of the not a song, but just some bits that you might find interesting, because I know it's coming up to Halloween. But as I said last time we were on, last Sunday, it was actually the 605th anniversary of As You Go. And
There's
He's muted.
pardon?
a nice thing on it, and I think it's a friend of my son's.
Can't see who's talking.
Somebody needs muting.
All right, somebody needs muting. And one of the projects that I did was about Agincourt. Actually, I'll just get this.
That's wallpaper.
This is one of the. This is typical of the kind of hood that they would have worn in those days, with a long tassel at the back. Don't know if you can see that or not.
All right.
Somewhere. Anyway, it's got a long tassel that hangs down there. There we go. And they used to keep the money in those, or herbs and things. So I've just drawn out a few facts from the period. It's actually from the official records that were kept at the time, a lot of this. So there was, let's have a look. The bows, they actually used to draw about 80-pound draw weight bows that would shoot arrows approximately 240 yards. And the archers, to qualify to be an archer, you had to be able to shoot 12 arrows to 240 yards. This would be expected of a 24-year-old. 12 arrows at 240 yards. And then of those 12 arrows, at 70, 80 yards, 10 of them had to be what they called aimed. So they had to actually be able to hit a target at 70 yards in an area that wasn't protected. So if it was a horse or a part of a bloke, didn't matter. But that was one of the classifications for it. One of the laws that they brought in on the Agincourt campaign was that no one was allowed to shout havoc. And I don't know, anyone know what that term means?
I've heard the expression to cry havoc.
It was the shout that they gave when it was towards the end of a battle, which meant all the soldiers could just go onto the battle, or they were on the battlefield, but basically they could take the loot or pinch, take whatever they wanted off the enemy. So that was one of the rules that he brought in. No one was to do that because they were so outnumbered. They thought if anybody did, it could actually cost them the war. In the run-up to it, this is all jumbled up, but in the run-up to it, King Charles offered his daughter's hand in marriage to Henry, plus, at the time, £12,000, which in today's money, going back about 5 years then, but would have been worth £7.5 million. On top of that, he offered him lands, plus a dowry of £200,000, approximately 120 million. Of course, he turned that down, whether he didn't like the look of his daughter or not, I don't know. On the 7th of August, they loaded the ships, and as well as food, timber and weapons, they actually loaded them with 12,000 horses. What else was there? The night before the battle, he ordered that no soldier was to make any sound, and that was because with the woods on either side, he didn't want the enemy creeping up at the sides and attacking them by surprise. The penalty, if they did, was that they would have an ear cut off. He also banned women from within 5 miles of the camp. If a woman was found within 5 miles of the camp with the soldiers, they'd be told off. Mm-hmm. If they were found a second time, they had their arm broken. So he was quite ruthless to get what he wanted, really. When eventually they did, that's going back to Harfleur. He knighted John Radcliffe when they landed at Harfleur at the start of the campaign. He knighted John Radcliffe when they landed, and that's John Radcliffe of Ordsall Hall and Radcliffe Old Hall. What else was there that was particular? Oh yeah. that in practicing archery, I'll finish on this one. In practicing archery, no man would be found guilty of a crime if they shot and killed anybody. And there was an archer practicing in Cambridge, and he shot the Earl of Essex. The Earl of Essex, 2 weeks later, died. And the punishment for that bloke was that from this day forth, he is to be known as a low-class archer. Which I thought was brilliant, really. So, anyway, there's absolutely dozens and dozens of other facts. So, you know, anyway, often think of St. Crispin's Day.
Thank you very much. That was good. Well done.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a bit of information and loads more if you want any other snippets later on.
Fascinating stuff. I didn't think much of the chorus, though, Dom.
No, can't really join in on it.
Saint Crispin is the patron saint of shoemakers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or cordwainers.
Yes. I know a story about a shoemaker, but you've probably heard it. I won't bother. Right, Chris, put your can down.
Oh, right.
Sorry about that.
We can go quick enough. So. I'm going to do one of mine first. I was going to go all 50s on you, but later. I think I played this one ages ago with the Eagle when it first come down. Devil and the Clown, maybe not.
All right.
That wasn't it.
No, your songs are usually a bit longer than that.
Yeah. You tell me when they're too long, though.
No.
There's an effigy burning on the edge of town. Some folks are saying it bears the marks of a clown. Freewheeling lifestyle never comes cheap. They discovered her body in a burned out Jeep. Not everyone's a friend on the passenger seat. On the road was a dream of road endlessly. Sheriff found her mother in another state. Check her ID and inform her of her fate. Took it down to the devil, some went down. Last thing she recalls was the face of the crown. Now no one knows nothing. Facts, faith, and view. Say it was a crime, well it might have been you. So you smell something burn. Best drive on through, 'cause if you dance with the devil, well, I will get you. You took a dance with the devil as the sun went down. Last thing she remembers is the face of the crowd. He was just a drunken old fool who said he liked his being cool. Laughed till they cried when he fell off his stool. No one knows nothing, facts, faith, and view. Said it was the kind of life might have been you. So if you smell something burning, let's drive on through. If you dance with the devil, I will get you. Well, the devil slipped a grin as the customers rolled in. His eyes burned and said, it's your turn. Suddenly watched some blaze through a shimmering haze, you say, it's to another night free. Well, no one knows nothing, facts, faith, and view. Said it was a clown life, might have been you. Smell something burning, let's drive on through. If you dance with the devil, I will get you down to the devil. I will get you down. I will get you. I can't put much pressure on this one. I had a similar thing to Peter. Good job. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Dancing with the Devil. That's suitably appropriate, I think.
Jettison it now.
Right. Thank you very much. Nosferatu, you're next. Jeff?
Oh, me. What, Nosferatu? Who's Nosferatu?
That's your name, Nosferatu.
Oh,
The vampire.
I could only see 4 people, you see, and I didn't have the screen on where my picture was. I was watching the player. So, right, this is nothing to do with anything to do with Halloween. It's normal. It's just normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like a bit of a loose cannon, aren't I? One you can sing along with. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to rent. No phone, no food, no pay. Ain't got no cigarette. 2 hours of pushing broom. 8 to 12 for the room. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. 3rd boxcar midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Oh, worn out suit and shoe. Don't pay no union dues or smoke old stogies I have found. Short but not too big around. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, all of the children and all of their names, every handout in every town, and every lock they don't lock when no one's around. prelude or sailor red. Rules to let people sing. No phone, no crew, no pen. I ain't got no cigarettes to smoke. Old stogies I have found. Short but not too big. I remember. Man of means, but all together now. King of the road. King of the road. King of the road. King of the road.
Nice. Right, I have to confess now, that's my karaoke song.
Who's Nostradamus?
Nosferatu. It's a very famous vampire.
I've never heard of him.
One of the very first silent film. One of the very first vampire horror films ever made was called Nosferatu.
Was it?
Absolute classic, yeah.
William Cheney.
No, well before that.
Cozy.
Silent.
What was the name? But then I
The silent film years ago.
vampire.
How come
To Dominic.
Just been
Couldn't
busy.
sound his brain.
Just been busy.
How come I'm the only one that gets his name changed?
Well,
Everybody
Frankenstein's got his changed.
Hang on.
I didn't.
Frankenstein's been changed.
I have.
That's better.
He came up with a pathetic Stanicula, which didn't work at all. Frankenstein's much better.
There it goes.
I was a railway that goes uphill.
A Stanicula Railway. Yeah, so King of the Road is my karaoke song. I have been known to sing it in bars in Tenerife.
Oh, good lad.
And, you know, not quite win a competition, but not be far off. Yeah, so Irene goes and hides whenever she hears the opening bars of that.
Oh, does she? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can't please everybody all the time, you know.
No.
I can't please anybody any of the time. So that's.
Oh, of course you can. Of course you can, Malcolm. Right, Frankenstein.
Oh, right. I have some great news from the battlefield.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Was that what you were looking at off screen there?
Of course it was, yes.
Of course it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, you tell him.
Well, Oldham Athletic have won away, which is a miracle. Even bigger win than Henry V had at Agincourt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a hell of a drive back from Southend if you lose.
It is. Yeah. Or if you win.
Mind Henry V band had the football band.
89th minute.
All right. Let's get back to history. I went to Agincourt a couple of years ago. I was driving around bits of France.
You missed it.
And no, it was shut because it was Sunday. But there was an information board on which the French had neglected to put the result of the battle.
The scoreboard wasn't working.
Yeah, the scoreboard wasn't working. And then I went to Crécy, which is another medieval battle, 1346, not too far away. And once again, there was an information board, and the French neglected to put the result of that one on as well. So, England went and got an away win in France. And my other favourite fact about Agincourt, I don't know, Dom, if you know this one, you probably do, that more English died of dysentery than they died in battle.
Yeah.
And it's like Crimea more, isn't it? More died from the infections they got from the wounds than died by being shot.
It was the first form of biological warfare.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Because with dysentery, the most of them had taken the trousers off, or and did whatever they had to do wherever they were standing. So of course they stuck the arrows in that, didn't they?
Yeah.
And if you were wounded, if you didn't kill them, you gave them a bloody nasty infection.
Lovely.
I thought it was all about French toilets, but never mind.
If that's what the French did, it's not British, that is it?
Well, the British did that. The
All
English
right.
did that.
All right then. Retaliate first.
How is it when I'm on, the talk ends up talking about dysentery? I don't know.
Started it.
I'm going to do a Halloweeny song concerning the Pendle witches, because I have had very close link with the Pendle Witches ever since about the age of 16, when I lived in Lancaster. And I used to go to school and have to walk past the gates of Williamson's Park. I don't know if you know that. There's a big dome thing you can see from the motorway, and that's Williamson's Park. And opposite the gates of Williamson's Park, which I had to pass every day, was a little stone wall around a cemetery, an old 18th century cemetery for the Quakers. And the Quakers weren't allowed to be buried on consecrated ground because they were an odd lot. And this ground was unconsecrated because it's where prisoners executed at Lancaster Castle were taken up to the top of the hill, which became known as Golgotha Hill, and were executed and presumably buried up there. And the most famous people to be executed at Lancaster Castle were the Pendle Witches in 1612. And so that's probably where they were disposed of. And I had to walk past there on the way home. And after the clocks had gone back, and it was a dark sort of Novemberish night, and I'd be walking up there, I'd always look straight ahead and never off to the right, just in case I saw something move. And it was still in a spooky place. And then years later, I was asked to co-write a radio play on Radio Lancashire on the subject of the Pendle Witches, and this is one of the songs that came out of it. It's about one of the 11 Pendle Witches. 10 of the 11 almost certainly were guilty. They're getting money with menaces and doing curses and all sorts of things. But the 11th one was stitched up. She was stitched up, and this is her song. This is no time nor place for sleep. A vigil for my poor benighted soul I must keep. The devil taunts me with the morrow's flights, but for now I am safe, protected by the night. Condemned by ramblings of some gypsy child. How easily the wise men of the law have been beguiled. How earnestly they thundered at my trial. But they knew my faith and were deaf to all denial. I never killed, I never stole, I never lied. The only sin that I am guilty of is the sin of pride. And here amongst these whimpers, sobs and moans, I must make my last confession to the stones. They asked me where I was on Good Friday, but those of the true faith I know I must not betray. I only have my wretched life to save, so I will take that secret with me to the grave. They say I murdered Henry Mitten by the craft. I can see his face in my mind now, how he would have laughed. He was sick, I took him broth, and this they knew. It is the kind of thing that good neighbours do. I never killed, I never stole, I never lied. The only sin that I am guilty of is the sin of pride. And here amongst these whimpers, sobs and moans, I must make my last confession to the stones. I can sense the first light of this final day, and soon the cart will rumble up and carry us away. I must stay strong, hold on to faith and hope, and embrace the freedom of the jerking rope. In fact, now I have little will to live. My anger serves no purpose, I have no strength to forgive. On Golgotha, like sweet Christ, I'll face the jeers, but no one will see poor Alice Nutter's tears. I never killed, I never stole, I never lied. The only sin that I am guilty of is the sin of pride. And here amongst these whimpers, sobs and moans, I must make my last confession to the stone. Then they hanged her.
Lovely.
You want fish?
Not lovely, but very good. Irene's brother Paul, his wife, mother of Michael and Lindsay, for those who know him, is a descendant, I think, of Alice Nutter. Descendant of one of the Pendle witches. I think it's Alice Nutter. So there you go. Keep it in the family. Keep it in the family. Mark, unmute yourself and regale us.
Okay. This is a song by R.P. Weston and Bert Lee, who wrote thousands of songs between them and with other people. And this, I think this one, Harris Weston, who was R.P. Weston's son, added a bit as well. And it was sung by that famous northerner, Stanley Holloway. In that cod northern voice that he put on. You probably know it. In the Tower of London, large as life, the ghost of Anne Boleyn walks, they declare. Anne Boleyn was once King Henry's wife, until he made the headsman bob her hair. Oh yes, he did a wrong years ago, and she comes up at night to tell him so. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. She's come to haunt King Henry, she means giving him what for. Gadzooks, she's going to tell him off for having spilt her gore. And just in case the headsman wants to give her an encore, she has her head tucked underneath her arm. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. drafty corridors, for miles and miles she goes. She often catches cold, poor thing, it's cold there when it blows. And it's awfully awkward for the Queen to have to blow her nose with a red tucked underneath her arm. Sometimes gay King Henry gives a spread for all his gals and pals, the ghostly crew. The headsman carves the joint and cuts the bread, and Anne Boleyn comes in to queer the do. She holds her head up with a wild war whoop, and Henry cries, don't drop it in the soup. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. The sentries think that it's a football that she carries in, and when they've had a few they shout, is Arsenal going to win? Because they think it's Alec James instead of poor old Anne Boleyn. With her head tucked underneath her arm, with her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. She often finds King Henry sitting in the canteen bar. He says, are you Jane Seymour, Anne Boleyn or Catherine Parr? For how the sweets and fairy Anne can I tell who you are? With your head tucked underneath your arm. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, bloody hell, doesn't it make you sick, that guitar playing? Well
It does, yeah. Make you put your fingers off.
the musicians make me sick.
Well, thanks for that, Mark. That's one I can take off my list for the second song of the evening.
Is it? All right, okay.
It wouldn't be anything like as good as that.
Would it not? All right, okay.
No.
No, we don't. We won't know, will we?
Well, you're not going to find out, are you?
No.
All right, Rick.
No.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
All right, okay.
Let there be lights.
Oh.
You gonna do The Devil Went Down to Georgia?
No. Yeah, might do. Right. Question. Around the same time as Halloween, at the end of October, the Romans celebrated Feralia, which was the for the goddess Pomona.
All right.
So there's something of the Pomona festival that still remains in our Halloween celebrations, or did. It doesn't do it so much now, but did when I was a kid and when all we were kids. Can you think of what it might be?
Could it be? Well, Cobber Collins bonfire, isn't it? No. Apple bobbin?
Correct. The symbol for Pomona was the apple. Right. Anyway, I'm going to.
I wonder if the apple wharf was it Pomona Dock? That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Anyway, I'm going to invoke the ghost of somebody we may remember. We couldn't let Halloween go without this. I'll tell you a terrible story, best told at the Dead and Eight. Spinners and doffers and wavers, gradely folk, the best you could meet. In the ring rooms and weaving sheds of Rochdale, this strange tale still brings a chill. And they still talk in hushed voices in the tap rooms of the Phantom of Balderstone Mill. It started one day back in 50s when looms were all stopped for the night and the weavers were sweeping their alleys, and there came this terrible shriek. 'Twas a smart little piecer from Thornham, with an armful of boxes she came, and she slipped and she fell arms akimbo. 'Twas the phantom who'd struck without shame. The piecer were all of a dither, weaving sheds silent and still. There were weavers galore at the manager's door, saying, "Come quick, somebody's done it in the mill." Once he'd done it, he couldn't give over. He did it all over the place, in the alleys, on the duckboards, in bobbin bins, anywhere he could find any space. Some say it were bitter and twisted. Some say he were touched by the sun. Whatever it was, he were fast with it. Within seconds, he could drop one and run. They still talk of the time down at Scutchinall. A weaver, a lad from Kirkhill, were caught in a spinner for ring room, and they crept down there when all was quite still. Well, the lad had just started his courting. He was squeezing and egging her on. A strange pungent smell burnt his nostrils. 'Twas the phantom who dropped one and gone. Straight away the brave little fella said, "I'll have him if it's the last thing I do." So he went and laid traps in the alleys, and he went and laid tripwires in the loo. He tried to match cunning with cunning, but soon he found it were no joke. For all he saw were a weaver from shore who'd gone out to the bogs for a smoke. So they had to form vigilantes with spies on corners in bins, well armed with trike knives and clog irons and slings made with black pudding skins. But they couldn't find hide nor hair of him. They could smell him, but they just couldn't see, because he'd strike with the speed of an eagle that's been training on Senapod tea. A weaver sat down for his dinner. It were hot pot he were having that day. Nobody liked hot pot like he did. Well, that's what his wife used to say. He unfolded his red spotted hanky, which he did in anticipation. But what he found there, it weren't hot pot. The phantom had crapped in his basin. What became of him, everyone wondered. Some say he just wasted away. But some think he swigged too much syrup of things and fell in a rapid decay. So if you're that way late in the evening and ghostly shapes give you a chill, and somebody behind you, it's the phantom of Balderstone Mill. Bye-bye. Thank you, Jack Lee.
Jack Lee. It's funny you should bring Jack up tonight. It was only yesterday or the day before that Stan posted a wonderful link to a video of. It's not a video of him, a video of him. It's an audio of him with pictures overlaid, doing his song. I'm glad, I'm a gladiator. That one, not being a gladiator, and very good it is too. So if you want a link, ask me and I'll pass it on to you.
Just before.
I've just put on the group chat, by the way, and another thing I've got from the same source.
I was going to say something else.
Yeah, Roger Ripshot he managed to film the last night of the Wagon Inn Folk Club at Milnrow with Jolly Jack and various other people.
Right.
If you guys ever listen to Radio 4, just about now, there's a series about folk music by Michael Morpurgo, and the first one's just been on this last week. I can't remember what time it's on out, but you find it. Radio 4, Morpurgo. Brilliant. Just
yeah. I haven't got a decent radio that can pick up Radio 4 on, except in the car.
Well, do it on
your computer.
I never know how to bloody...
BBC iPlayer.
BBC
iPlayer. Have you got an Alexa or a Google box? Hey
I get
Google.
lost when I go on there. I look for things and then finish up not finding them.
Anyway, it's there, but
Yeah.
honestly, it's a good series. The last one he was doing was about textile mills, and the song he was working on and had people on singing and talking about was Four Loom Weaver, which I'm sure we all know.
There's many a one knows.
Many a one knows. Now Tatum have worn out my clothes. Anyway, Michael Moore Pergo on Radio
Yeah,
4.
I was told about that the other week before it came on, but yeah, I must look it up. Okay. I just I was trying to remember the name of Paul's wife before she was married, and it was, she's gone again now.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be gone again.
All right, okay. Go for a refill. Marion, we're up to you. You went all bright yellow along a short while ago. I don't know what's happening with the lighting, but you're back to somewhat like normal.
To my when I get close.
All right.
It's a very poor.
Oh, there you go.
There we are.
All yellow.
Sticking something up on the computer box. Yeah, oh yeah. Every time I sit forward, it goes yellow. Oh, says I, and it didn't. Right. Anyway, one Halloween song. There lived a wife at Asheswell, a wealthy wife was she. She had 3 sons. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Let me start again. I was just doing this bad. There was a wife at Asheswell, well, a wealthy wife was she. She had 3 stout and stalwart sons, and sent them o'er the sea. They had... I'm too high, aren't I? I can't do that. Wait a second. I'll start once more. Sorry. There was a wife at Asheswell, a wealthy wife was she. She had 3 stout and stalwart sons, and sent them across the sea. They had not been away from her a week, but barely one, when word came to the usher's wife that her 3 sons were gone. They had not been away from her a week, but barely 3. When word came to the usher's wife, her son she'd never see. I wish that winds would never cease, nor fashes in a flood, till my 3 sons come home again in earthly flesh and blood. It was about the Martinmas, when nights were long and murk, when her 3 sons came home again. Their hats were made of birk, which grows not in a syke nor ditch, no neither in a soft, but at the gates of paradise it grows there well enough. Make up the fire, my maidens all, fetch water from the well. Since my 3 sons are home, with all this house will feast tonight. Since my 3 sons are well, she's made up to them a bed. She's made it long and wide. She's thrown a mantle round about and sat at their bedside. Up then crew the red cock, and up and crew the grey. The eldest to the youngest said, it's time we were away. It had not clapped its wings but once, and clapped its wings again. The youngest to the elder said, we can no longer bide. For the cock doth crow, and the day doth dawn, and the chunnering worm doth chide. And if we be missed from our place, a sore pain must we bide. So fare thee well, mother dear, farewell, barn and byre. And fare ye well, ye bonny lass, that kindles my mother's fire.
I presume that was the wife of Usher's Well, was it?
Pardon?
Was that the wife of Usher's Well?
Wife of Usher's Well, yes, it's one of the versions.
Okay, right. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Thank you very much, Marion. I'm just looking around while you were singing that, and when Barbara stopped moving, it looked like her hat was on fire, and there's a plume of black smoke coming out of the top of it, blowing to the port side. And Janet and Derek look like they've got little Pierrot caps on, little pointed white hats like the clowns. Chris just looks sinister. Very sinister. Right, so some of you will remember about 7 or 8 years ago, even before the Eagles started, I was in Lidl or Aldi, I can never remember because they both look the same, walking up and down the middle bit, because there's always interesting bits in that middle bit. You never know what you're going to find. And I found this, and it reminded me of Rick. And I posted a video of him playing, and it's the skeletal banjo player, and I brought it out of the loft earlier, and it's not working. I've got to take the batteries out, and they've all corroded, and it's screwed up the doings, so it doesn't work.
Bit like myself, I don't work either.
I'm afraid you're not going to have a rendition of the dueling banjos by the skeleton, I'm afraid. So
oh, brilliant, that, Martin.
Yeah, sorry. However, 2 years later, I was in Lidl or Aldi, and I found this, which is the guitar playing equivalent. So you are going to get a blast of this. That's it.
Brilliant.
That's all you're getting. Roll on Christmas and the turkey will be out, don't worry. Right, okay, this is another one of Bob's. And it's very appropriate, actually, that Stan did the song about the Pendle Witches. I remember the name was Norris, by the way. Surname was Norris. I think the descendants of the Alice Nutter. So, this is a song which Bob wrote. I don't know when, and I can't quite remember the tune, so I've had to dig around in the back of the brain and find one that fits. And funnily enough, it's another one of Bob's. I put the tune of one to the words of another, or the words of one to the tune of another. And I had to change the refrain slightly to make it work. So here we go. I'll have a go at this one. 'Tis the time of Halloween when witches start to fly. And take it up a bit. 'Tis the time of Halloween when witches start to fly. A million broomsticks can be seen cluttering up the sky. But how can I protect myself from witches' spells, I thought. So I looked up the details in the latest witch report. I looked up the details in the latest witch report. The Spanish Inquisition said in 1492, to ascertain which witch is which, here's what you must do. Throw her in the pond, and if she drowns, that means she's good. But if she floats, it's the devil's work, so fetch the firewood. If she floats, it's the devil's work, so fetch the firewood. To make a witch confess, she may be placed upon the racks. If that fails, make her listen to Sing No Longer Max. You may stretch her, you may squash her, you may drain away her blood. And as soon as she confesses, you can fetch the firewood. Yes, as soon as she confesses, you can fetch the firewood. So if you're unfortunate enough to be caught by the warlocks, the wisest thing that you can do is to kick them in the backside. Or chew a clove of garlic, it will keep you safe from spells. For witches can't stand garlics, nor can anybody else. No, witches can't stand garlic, nor can anybody else. Oh, 'tis the time of Halloween when witches start to fly. A million broomsticks can be seen fluttering up the sky. But how can I protect myself from witches' spells, I thought. So I looked up the details in the latest witch report. Yes, I looked up the details in the latest witch report. The latest witch report. Thank you, Bob. It's appropriate you sent that from the grave.
Aye, aye.
Right, Dom. Oh, he's ready. Look at that.
Hey?
His master's voice, and he's up there.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh. You got a Witchfinder General's hat. If it was a bit of a buckle on it, you're right.
I don't know if I'll manage this song. Keeping with the fact that I've tried to do something new each session. I came across this one. I don't know whether I've got the chords right. I don't know whether I've got the song right, the tune right. I've got the words in front of me, but that doesn't guarantee anything. So it's called The Witch's Rune. Yeah. Darks and nights and darks and night and witch's moon, balance of the dark and light. Hearken ye our witch's rune, as we perform our sacred rites. With earth and water, air and fire, by blade and bowl and circle round, we come to you with our desire. Let all that is hidden now be found. With censer, candle, book and sword, ringing of the altar bell, we tie a knot within our cord to bind our magic in a spell. Mother of the summer field, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter snows, with open arms we welcome you. Dance with us as power grows. Dance with us as power grows. By all the light of moon and sun, by all the might of land and sea. Chant the rune and it be done, as we will, so mote it be. Woo. Witch's rune.
No rune at the end.
No rune at the end.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much, Tom. Very suitable. Very, very suitable. What are you drinking there? It looks like a bottle of mead.
No.
Oh, Golden Hen, right. Yeah. The bottle just looked like something a bit more sophisticated than beer.
Yeah.
I thought you were into the mead. There you go. Right. Chris, I believe 'tis you. Unmute yourself, lad. Otherwise, we'll never hear you. Oh, go on, you can do it. Oh, he's gone. He's signed out. You've turned the video off instead of turning the sound on. There you go. Video's on. Just need to turn the sound on. Bottom of the screen somewhere. There'll be a mute button at the bottom left. You want to give you a minute? We'll go to Jeff and come back. Nod if you think. Nod if you want me to go to Jeff and come back. Yeah? Okay. I think that's a yes. Come on, Nosferatu.
He wants me to go to me, do we, right?
Yeah, we'll go back to Chris.
I'm ready. Right. Nothing to do with Halloween. There we go. A Peter and Gordon song, is this? Please lock me away and don't allow the day hear a song where I hide with my loneliness. I don't care what they say. I in a world without love. Birds sing attitude and rainbows hide the moon. I'm okay. Here I'll stay with my loneliness. I don't care what they say. I won't stay in a world without love. So I wait, and in a while I will see my true love smile. She may come, I know not where. When she does, I know. So baby, I'm somewhere. Lock me away and don't allow the day where I am with my loneliness. I don't care what they say. I won't stay in the world without love. I don't care what they say. I won't stay in the world without. Is Chris ready yet?
Yeah. Keep going.
I won't stay in the world without love. Thank you.
Lovely singing, Barbara. You were singing along, but you're about half a beat behind, so I had to mute you.
I thought I'd muted myself. Sorry.
It was lovely. It was very. It's a shame we can't. Because a lot of the stuff that Jeff does, I know we all like to sing along to.
Yeah.
I've not got Barbara on my screen, you see.
Yeah.
I've got.
Oh, well, I was singing.
You have to get a bigger screen.
And to your last one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks, Jeff. Right, Chris, we're back with you.
Can you hear me?
No.
You can't.
You got you.
We can.
Yes.
No. You can.
We can, yes.
We can.
You're pulling my leg.
What? Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Hello. Belgium, nil porn.
We can hear you. Off
Right,
you go.
It's song written by Aaron Robert Stokes Fisher. You'll know what it is straight away. It was recorded by loads and loads of people, including, well, first and foremost, Billie Holiday. And Tony Bennett had a go, and everyone's had a go, so I'm going to have a go. Someone's whispering in my ear. I say no, no, go away, but he don't hear. He follows me around. He follows me around. I'm too high. He follows me around. Can I start again? Can I start again? Someone's whispering in my ear. I say no, no, go away, but he don't hear. He follows me around, builds me up, tears me down. I try to shake him off, but he just hangs around. It's that old devil called love again. Gets behind me and keeps giving me that shove again. Putting rain in my eyes, tears in my dreams, and rocks in my heart. It's that sly old son of a gun again. He keeps telling me that I'm the lucky one again, but I still have to treat that rain, still have that pain and those rocks in my heart. Suppose I didn't stay, ran away, couldn't play. Devil, what a potion he would brew. He'd follow me round, build me up, tear me down, till I'd be so bewildered I wouldn't know what to do. Might as well give up that fight again. I know darn well he'll convince me that he's right again when he sings that siren song. I just gotta tag along with that old devil called love, with that old devil called love, with that old devil called love. Got there half and half.
Thank you, Alison Moyer. Certainly channeling Alison there, you were, I could tell. Beautiful. Right, Frankenstein, over to you.
Okay. Here's a devilish song from the time when this country was beset by the evil, wicked witch of the South. So that's I'm apologising for the language in the final verse, which was quite justified in those days. But of course now we have a beneficial government who look after us all, especially the children. Isn't that nice? I wake up in the evening, just as the sun is leaving, push the lid from off my coffin, dust the cobwebs from my face, put my false teeth in place, as I have done so often. But as I clamber out the box, I realise I'm on the rocks. There's just no work left to do. I keep hoping for a brand new opening, something I can get my teeth into, 'cause I'm a redundant vampire. Doesn't seem to be a vacancy for redundant vampires. Hasn't anyone a job for me? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I go down to the crypt to sign on. but the best bodies have gone. Fangs ain't what they used to be. I'm just a loner, I want to be a blood donor in reverse, but they won't consider me, 'cause I'm a redundant vampire. Doesn't seem to be a vacancy for redundant vampires. Hasn't anyone a job for me? La 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 la. I've lost all my self-respect. I'm just a pain in the neck, a lost soul wandering in the night. There's no point staying here, I shouldn't have left Transylvania. Oh, I'm dying for a bite, 'cause I'm a redundant vampire. Doesn't seem to be a vacancy for redundant vampire. Hasn't anyone a job for me? La 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 la. And so with red-rimmed eyes I creep back to my coffin for a sleep as the sun's rays touch the sky. The lack of gore is the fault of the Tories, 'cause they've bled every bleeder dry, and I'm a redundant vampire. Doesn't seem to be a vacancy for redundant vampires. Hasn't anyone a job for me? La 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 la.
Thank you, Stanacula.
That horrible enough for you?
I think you've been going to Whitby a bit too long.
Made me think of Norman Tebbit, that one. Don't know why.
Get on your bike.
I once got paid £5 by Private Eye magazine for sending an anagram of Norman Tebbit. It was Tom Bentbrain, and I think that's worth £5 of anyone's money.
Absolutely.
Excellent. How many years have you been playing Whitby Festival now, Stan?
Well, I didn't play this year, but about somewhere between 30 and 35, something like that.
Yeah. Same songs every time. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, just change the year.
Lovely. Thanks very much. The redundant vampire Stanacula. See what I did there?
Yes, Stanacula. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. You're not working very well tonight, are you, with these, Mark, over to you, son.
Oh, right, okay. In the 60s, Alan Garner was cornering the market in the Mystic stuff. I remember watching the Owl Service when it was on Granada. I think it was one of the first colour programmes on Granada, but we watched it in black and white. It was made in colour. I've seen it since. I've bought the video DVD. He also did Elidor, which was another book based in Manchester, around Manchester. And I remember that coming on the telly in the 1990s, I think it was. And there was this shot where they were panning down this street, and there's all these down and outs sat there and stood leaning against the wall. And as it pulled back,
Paul Connor.
You could see Paul Connor and Helen.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, I know you. I said it as a joke, but then I remembered after I said it. Yeah, I remember.
No, it was Paul.
It was Paul and Helen, wasn't it?
It was one of those moments like this afternoon when I went, "That's Martin," you know. It's, and when I was at school, we read The Weird Stone of Brisingamen, which you may have read, I don't know, which is all about the legend of Alderley Edge. And written by Alan Garner, and the follow-up to that was The Moon of Gomrath, and I know he's written a few more books, but this was the one that had the legend of Alderley Edge in it. And Pete
There's
Colville.
another song I thought of doing tonight, but I'm glad I didn't.
You should get in quicker.
I'd rather see it played properly.
I know, yeah. What do you want me to? No, you'll have to. I'll see what I can do. It's not a television studio, this, so you've got to make do with what I've got. From Morberley on a bright morning, on a snow-white purebred mare, a farmer rode to Macclesfield to sell her at the fair. Over Alderley Edge he took his path, where the day is endless night. But the mare did halt in a shroud of mist, for the man all clad in white. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path of the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well. Well met, said the man as he stood at the gate, won't you sell to me your mare? But the farmer said, she's not for sale till I get to Macclesfield Fair. Well, you can stand all day at the fair, but no bidding you will hear. I'll await your return to this very same spot as the evening does draw near. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path of the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well. Now this farmer, he was a puzzled man, as he rode into Macclesfield town, for admiring glances all the day would never fill his purse with crowns. So he returned a bitter man, as the sun fell in the sky, and just as he had said that morn, the wizard did draw nigh. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path of the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well. Now you must sell to me your mare for silver and bright gold. So we led this farmer and his horse down a path both dark and cold, and they passed through some iron gates and through a great rock wall. Like moles they went nigh double bent, till they came to the Sleepers' Hall. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path of the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well. With fear this farmer loud did gaze, and loudly he did moan, for full-dressed knights each with one mount, except for one alone. These are King Arthur's gallant men, who wait on England's need. So fill your purse and leave the bear, and leave the edge with speed. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path at the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well. Though he left the edge a very rich man, his story has caused him pain, and those who would search for the iron gates would search the edge in vain. But some do say that old Nell Beck did find the iron gates, but most say that she stricken was with the March Hare as her mate. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path of the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well. From Macclesfield to Morberley, if you have wares to sell, don't leave the path of the Wizard's Inn, or drink at the Wizard's Well.
Beautiful.
Not heard that for years.
Yeah, all-time favourites, that.
Love it.
Who was hissing then?
Who was hissing?
Yeah, I heard somebody hissing. I don't know whether it was somebody left their thing, or it was just feeding back to me. I don't know.
Wasn't a comment, certainly.
No.
I'm sure it wasn't. No, lovely that.
Thank you.
Now, what I like about that, Mark, is that the tune was just slightly different to the way I learned it, and singing along with that is so much easier.
Yeah.
So much more, just that little bit more melodic, and just flows that much nicer. So,
Right.
you know, if I had a copy, have you recorded that anywhere?
Yes, I think it's on one of my 260 YouTube videos that I did earlier on in.
I'll have to play it through a few times and try and get that tune in my head. It's just a little bit less. I can't think of the word, but yeah, much more flowing.
Yeah, it's a song. To be honest, they don't sing that often, but and I heard it absolutely years ago in the sort of late 70s.
I heard it in both.
So you pick it up over time, and things change as tunes do, because you remember them slightly differently.
Yeah.
Or the way you play them becomes different because you find a different way or a better way of playing them for your voice or your.
Remember, we went to Bolton a few times. We went to Bromley Cross,
Yeah,
the railway. But there was a place in Bolton that Alec Martin ran. Remember Alec Martin? He's still active on Facebook. He does more sort of heavy rock stuff. He used to do the Buskers Ball in Bolton. But I'm sure we went to one of his clubs. It was like a nightclub, but they had a folk night.
Oh, yes.
Remember? And the guy who wrote Wizard of Oldie, do you remember, Mark?
Pete Coe.
Was it Pete Coe? Right, okay.
Is that one of Pete Coe's?
Yeah.
And I've got a beautiful print with a beautiful picture of a wizard and all the words hand calligraphied, which he was giving out, and I got a copy. I was just looking for it now. I couldn't find it. I've still got that from 19 plonk, But a beautiful song, really nice. Love it. Thanks very much.
Did Pete Coe write that then?
Yeah.
I realise that.
Bloody hell, I didn't know that. I know Pete. It's quite funny. A few years ago, he was playing he'd got a booking in Crookhern, which is just 4 miles down the road from me. So I booked a ticket to go and see him, and he was bloody surprised to see me down at Somerset.
The weird thing is, Rick, that after all these years and running folk clubs and everything, I never actually met Pete Coe until 2 years ago.
Nice man.
When he came up and got involved with the Peterloo project with Brian Peters and doing some of the old broadside ballads and stuff. And I met him at one of the network meetings and introduced myself. He said, Martin Gittins, we never paths never crossed. Pete Coe, our paths never crossed, And we got on really well. Yeah, instantly got on very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, smashing well. Anyway, that apart, I sometimes worry that we're rambling amongst ourselves, but the other audience that will tune in to watch this might not know what's going on. But then I realise there's no one bothered to look at it. There isn't anybody else. It's just us. It's just there for us to go and look at again and glory in. Until I start driving thousands of people to the website, it's not going to be seen again until you tell people about it. So we can be indulgent. Marion, one of these days we're going to see you as you really are.
I know. Well, we've got. I don't know. This computer doesn't have an inbuilt camera, so it was difficult to find anything that was compatible and.
That looks like the old trick when you used to put a bit of Vaseline on a lens to make it look blurred.
I know.
You haven't been, I know what. Okay. Oh, she's moved. You just moved from one spot to another on the screen. Okay, yes. Off you go, Joe.
Right. I think I'll do a nice one, right? I've got Headless Men, but I'll do a lullaby. So that time of night, I think. I left my baby lying there, lying there, lying there. I left my baby lying there without a blueberry. Oven, oven, Gloria, go, Gloria, go, Gloria, go. I heard the girl you crying for, crying for, crying for. I heard the girl you crying for. I never heard my baby. Oh, oven, oven, Gloria, go, Gloria, go, Gloria, go. Oven, oven, Gloria, go. I never heard my baby. Oh, I searched all and towns and then wandered through the seal and glen. Saw the mist rise on the ben, but I never saw my baby. Oh, oven, oven, Gloria, go, Gloria, go, Gloria, go. Oven, oven, Gloria, go. I never found my baby. Oh. I'll leave it there.
Thank you very much. We'll just leave that now. I'm dozing off there, Marion. Thank you very much. Right, okay, that was grand. Some lovely songs. Peter, we hope you're going to look after yourself, mate. And I think we really think we should maybe get somebody in to give you a check over and give you an MOT. Make sure you're okay for a few more years, because we need you. We need people like you.
I'm missing this. Of course, I'm missing again this year. I've sang in the choir at St Anne's since 1978.
Yeah.
And I've missed last year and this year now. And that was terrific. I've really enjoyed that over the years.
Yeah.
I can call round if you want, Peter.
Hey?
I can call round if you want.
Not looking like that.
Your brain scan.
You're very welcome. If you could get in.
Turn it like that on the door, he'll drop court-legged. There's an expression that came to me the other day. Does anyone else know that one? Drop court-legged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma used to use that.
Drop court-legged.
I don't know what. You like? Was false legs made of cork? Maybe because they were light.
Yeah.
Put a cork leg in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody who was on a cork leg was unsteady, so he dropped cork leg. Yeah. But no, seriously, look after yourself, and I think you should call somebody out to give you a.
You will do.
You get one of those mobile MOTs to come out, and they do everything. You brakes and pads and points and plugs and all that, and give you an oil change, and sort you out. Thanks, Janet and Derek and Barbara and Brian and Chris and Neil for being our great audience members, of course, and Angela.
Can I ask a question? Whose iPad?
iPad is I think it's a friend of Matthew's. The guy who came. Remember the night at the Eagle when there was a gig on and we couldn't go in the venue? We all sat in the bar at the front.
Yes.
And a friend of Matthew came with one of his friends.
Right.
I think it's him, but he prefers to be incognito.
Right.
Yes. I think.
Hi, iPad.
Muted as well, so.
Oh, everybody.
Oh, hello. Is it Mark?
It is me. Yeah, it is me.
Show yourself.
Yeah.
Show yourself, lad.
I probably will next time. I
You
probably
sure?
will next time.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
I've got to say, I've enjoyed it though. I'm enjoying this.
Good. Good. It's just odd having a little blank square down at the bottom of the screen. But I'm glad it is you. So yeah, thanks for coming and enjoying. Hope you enjoyed it. And we're
Well,
going to
next I'll show myself, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
yeah. Put your clothes on for next time. All right.
How did you know?
My spies in Blakely. Matthew's looking.
Can you see me?
He's looking through between the curtains and
Right.
the windows. I just, Right. Okay. Cheers, Mark. I'm going to finish with the usual, but Mark, just to be aware, I'll put it up a notch, like I said I was going to. So
Right.
I think it's in E, isn't it?
It is in E now, yeah.
Oh, hey, look at that. I'm getting all technical, mate. I think it's the voice is getting old, and I needed to, as you get older, you lose some of that bottom register. So I've been struggling the last few times to hit that bottom note, and it's a shame because it's a lovely. I like the sort of spread of the song, and to miss that bottom note, it's a shame. The day's full end is rounded out, and ends the working light. There you go. And I would have all round about the friendship of this night, to bide a while, sit ye down by me, bide a while in friendly company. Abide with us an hour to pass, before you think to part. Allow the landlord fill your glass, and friendship fill your heart. And bide a while, sit ye down by me. Bide a while in friendly company. Use up the time you have to spend with kinsmen you well know. So pull aside the chair and lend the time before you go. And bide a while, sit ye down by me. Bide a while in friendly company. Come on, the parting toast is raised in fond refrain. Thanks, Rick. No matter who should play the host, we'll bide a while again. Bide a while, sit ye down by me. Bide a while in friendly company. Bide a while, sit ye down by me. Bide a while in friendly company. Oh, that was easier. What a difference a notch makes.
Yeah.
That's looked brilliant, Rick. That looks absolutely fantastic.
Good. Very scary.
It's hovering in the middle of the room. Make it float a bit more. Oh.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, and Stanley, where's he gone? Stanacula, his face is
Yes, he's been
disappearing.
gone. Someone, I couldn't work out who it was. Yes, it's Stanley that went a while ago.
I was watching one of the old back issues of Mock the Week on Dave last night, like you do, and it was Holly. What's her name? Holly.
Willoughby.
No, the comedian Holly Walsh, and she was saying she hates fancy dress, but she was persuaded to take part in one because it was for some special occasion, and she went as a Grim Reaper, and she wanted to get there early so she could show her face and take the costume off and then enjoy the party. But unfortunately, in her enthusiasm to get there early, she went to the wrong house. It would have just been embarrassing had it not been for the look on the face of the aged old woman who answered the door. And then following on from that, there was a story that somebody was doing trick or treat, and they stood outside the window of an older folks' home, and two people went into cardiac arrest.
Gosh.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but you can imagine it. You know, he's looking out on the lawn, and suddenly there he is, Stanley there with a big sign over his shoulder. And you wouldn't ask, would you? You'd just think, "My time's come." There you go. Right, okay. Rick's just shuddering now. Looking very good, that actually. Okay, a theme for next fortnight. Do you realise, of course, we've done more in the 6 months since lockdown than we would do in a normal year of, 2 years of meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've just been doing every fortnight. It's made such a difference. Yeah, so theme for next month, I thought I had an idea for local heroes. Yeah, there's loads of songs about people who've had important effect on things locally and then nationally, but maybe local to Manchester, Salford, Bolton, surrounding districts, Rochdale, Oldham. Is there a Jimmy Frizzell song, Stanley? Who knows, but there might be by next time.
John Willie's Horse mentions Jimmy Frizzell.
Who does?
John Willie's Horse, the Oldham Thinkers.
He does, yes. John Willie showed his horse. Between the pillars on the town hall steps, John Willie showed his horse. John Willie showed his horse.
Yeah.
Beautiful. On that note, it's time to sort of wind up again for another session. I really enjoyed tonight. I was feeling a bit lackluster before we started, but you cheered me up, all of you. And well, since we've only got one, I might as well give it a second go.
Yeah.
And there you go. Rick, from behind your mask, I'm going to ask you to finish this sentence. And before we say goodnight, I'm going to say thanks all for coming and thanks for staying. And in the meantime,
bugger off.
I'm going to end the meeting.
Okay.
Thanks,
Good
everyone.
night. Stay safe.
Thank you.
End the meeting now.
Right.